This is WKYT This Morning.
Oh, the sounds of Bill Bryant's phone in the morning. If you could only hear the music, you have pretty good selection.
Let's play a little It's a Beautiful Morning. And
Yes.
it is. And good morning to you. We're glad you're with us on WKYT. Bill Bryant and Rebecca Smith here with all the latest news. And now at 6 a.m., a recently released report is drawing scrutiny towards a Central Kentucky high school. We'll have details on hazing allegations at Rowan County High School just ahead.
A man was badly injured in an overnight crash. Find out what police say led to a driver being stuck under a tractor trailer.
And construction on the new Bluegrass Stockyards will be starting soon. Now managers say they need help in keeping its history alive.
Not a bad looking start to the day as you're walking out the door. I see no problems whatsoever there on the roadways. And as we travel throughout your day, you'll see a mixture of sun and clouds. Temperatures there in the 70s right now. Finishing off pretty warm later on this afternoon, but do we see any storms in the forecast, or is it all about the heat? I'll have that coming up.
All right, let's get right to the news.
The Rowan County High School football program is facing scrutiny this morning after a report found evidence of hazing.
The report says upperclassmen targeted younger players, and sometimes it caused concussions. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with the details on the investigation into this. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. The state investigation found young players had about 20 concussions, most of them happening when they were not even supposed to be playing. The report alleges it was part of a culture of hazing on the football team, and it was not handled correctly by school officials. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, the Office of Education Accountability found the reported bullying took place during practices and football camp. In one case, a player jumped out of bed and hurt his wrist after players poured liquid on him and told him it was urine. The report alleges upperclassmen also hit younger players with socks filled with talcum powder and made them drink an unknown liquid. The football coach was suspended several months ago while the state was investigating. The school decided to not renew his contract. His attorney is firmly denying the coach witnessed or allowed any hazing. So what changes is the state asking the school to make so the alleged bullying does not happen again? Coming up at 6:30, we'll take a look at the new requirements for the principal, the superintendent, and the new coach. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
A fallen tree is to blame for damage at a Lexington apartment this morning. It happened around 11 at an apartment on Augusta Court near Eastland Parkway. Firefighters say a tree fell on utility lines before going through the roof of the apartment. No one was hurt. The trial against a man accused in a Lexington murder case picks back up today. Police say Matthew Donahue stabbed his boyfriend, Todd Schumacher, to death at a home on Lamont Drive in January of last year. Jury selection and opening statements began yesterday. Prosecutors expect the trial to end Thursday.
Well, a man's been taken to the hospital overnight with serious injuries after Lexington police say he ran his car under a semi-truck's trailer.
The accident happened around 1:30 in the morning on Versailles Road near New Circle at the widening project that's been going on there. WKYT's Mike Byer is joining us live with details on this crash. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. A man is fighting for his life this morning after crashing his car into a semi on Versailles Road near the New Circle Road interchange. The accident happened around 1:30 this morning, forcing all 4 lanes of Versailles Road to shut down for nearly 4 hours. They're back open again. Police tell us the semi was trying to make a U-turn near the interchange because the ramp from Versailles Road to New Circle was closed for construction. Police say this is when a car traveling outbound on Versailles slammed into the semi, becoming stuck under it. Firefighters were able to lift the trailer with airbags to get the car out. They then had to cut the roof off the car to get the driver out. They say he was conscious at the time, but was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police tell us the car may have been traveling at a high rate of speed before the crash happened. Now, at this time, we're unsure of the man's condition. Other than that, he has life-threatening injuries. I was told by police this morning that the driver of the semi is okay. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you very much. This morning, firefighters are still trying to figure out how a fire started at a Lexington apartment complex. Last night's fire was on Zandale Drive near Nicholasville Road. Crews say a mattress caught fire. They're not sure how. We're told the man who lives in that unit tried to put the fire out with his feet, and he was burned while doing so. He is expected to be okay. The apartment building was evacuated for a time, but everybody has been allowed back in.
We're learning more about the case against a Central Kentucky man who police say killed his girlfriend over the weekend. Rocky Ashby is accused of killing Tara Simpson Lamer on Saturday. Campbellsville police say the relationship turned deadly when Ashby learned he had been indicted on assault and burglary charges stemming from 2 incidents at Lamer's home before the shooting. Ashby was arrested in Shelby County Saturday night. A death investigation is underway in Pike County, where the coroner says CSX workers found a man's body on some railroad tracks in the Miller community near Pikeville. The coroner identified the victim as Shannon Robinson. He says Robinson may have been hit by the train.
A woman is behind bars after police say she was using heroin in a Madison County library in downtown Richmond with her 2 kids with her. Police say Laveda Jones was unresponsive when they found her. They say her 2 children found a powdery substance in the toilet that turned out to be heroin. Jones admitted to taking both heroin and oxycodone. She is charged with wanton endangerment and public intoxication. Construction on the new Bluegrass Stockyards will soon be getting underway, and managers say they want the new facility to pay tribute to the stockyards' rich history. A massive fire destroyed the former stockyards in Lexington back in January. The new stockyards are being built on Ironworks Pike at the Fayette-Scott County line. That construction is getting ready to start, and stockyards managers are now asking for historical items from the old facility that will be displayed in the new stockyards.
We're going to have a museum in the facility, and much of that museum is going to be centered around paying homage to the history of livestock marketing here in Lexington and the old facility.
Construction of the new stockyards facility will begin next month, and they're hoping to have it finished up by next July. If you have historical stockyard items that you would like to loan to the new facility, we have the contact information on how you can do that at WKYT.com.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Pretty good looking start to the day as you walk outside. Only a mixture of sun and clouds, and that's about it. So if you're one of those that get outside, do a little exercise before you head off to work. I don't know how you do it, but you know you do. And good for you, and number one. Number two, it looks pretty good for you too. So let's go through what we're expecting as we go throughout the morning and in towards your afternoon. Upper 60s, lower 70s. No problems whatsoever this morning as you're getting out on the road. The roads are dry. Looks pretty good. Now then we track off through the next few days. And here is the common theme you're going to be seeing the next few days. Small chance of rain. A pop-up shower thunderstorm is possible. Most of us stay dry. And when you stay dry this time of year, look what happens. Upper 80s, lower 90s. Each and every single day. So that's now through Thursday. Not great chances of rain, and it looks pretty dry. But the heat is going to really crank up as we travel towards your mid and late week. Watch what happens. This front moves to the north of us. Heat warnings, excessive heat warnings back toward the Mississippi Valley region. Not so much for our area, but what we're going to be seeing is that heat, at least some of it, a piece of it, travels eastbound as that front moves to the north of us. And that'll be Friday off into your weekend. Look at these numbers showing up there for the weekend. It doesn't look too fun, does it? 95, 96 degrees, even a couple of 97s poking their head in here from the south. And what you're going to be dealing with that also is the humidity. The moisture will be with us. It'll make it feel like 100 to maybe even 105 in some spots. Some big time heat headed our way. The only thing that will help us out is if we get cloud cover and a few showers, a few rumbles of thunder across the region on Saturday off into Sunday. That's the only thing that's going to help us out. Other than that, it's going to be about the heat and how high these temperatures will soar. 7-day forecast, the breakdown of it. I have thrown a few storms in there on Saturday. That's why I'm dropping those temperatures just a bit. And you're talking about dropping the temperatures, you still have 92 degrees on the screen. But I'm telling you, if we do not see the rain, we're talking 93, 94 degrees. We're talking some really warm conditions, guys, as we travel throughout your work week. But listen to this, 80, 89, 88. That's actually average for this time of year. 91, they'll feel the same. The moisture will be with us. It will be sticky. It will be steamy. Another adjective I don't even know, but let me tell you, we're going to hold on to that summer pattern all the way through the 7-day forecast. I promised you that. Yeah. It's one of those hot weeks we haven't felt in over a year. I mean, it's been, wow. Well, not over a year, but it's been about a year since we felt.
It's hard to believe that it's been so temperate.
It's been all right this July. We've lucked out, that's for sure.
There comes a time when it's a little hot in the summer, right? Yep. So here we are for the next few days. Micah, thank you. 6:09 on WKYT.
We're giving you a look at traffic right now and see what's happening.
Let's check in on Officer Don out there with live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Inbound Leestown Road just past the circle. Turned out to be a stalled car there, not a wreck. So we now have both lanes open. Now Tates Creek Road, it looks like we've cleared the problem we had at Alumni. That intersection's back open as well. So we're getting things straightened out. Let's get a look outside right now and we'll show you what to expect as you plan to head out the door with real-time traffic flow around the city. Not a lot of red popping up, which is good news. Downtown, they're still doing some construction, of course, and on the Todd's Road widening project, they're working out there already this morning. As far as drive times are concerned, no major issues to deal with right now, so we're okay coming in from Nicholasville. Also, Harrodsburg Road looks great through the crossover, and Paris Pike's moving fine. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, and when you get in your car, you can listen in to Officer Don and Deanne on 98.1 The Bull, and they're always up to something.
Yes, they are. They are so interesting to watch and listen to.
A lot of fun. Good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. We have a lot more news to tell you about this morning. Our time right now is 6:10.
A controversy is brewing at the Republican National Convention, and it's actually not about Donald Trump for once. We'll explain when we return.
Good morning. Welcome back in. It is a very, very nice start to the day out there,
It's
you know.
gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful Tuesday, and it is 6:14 now. The Republican National Convention kicked off with some dissent and speakers who painted a bleak picture of the United States.
But this morning it's the speech by Donald Trump's wife, Melania, that's causing a bit of a stir. Weijia Zhang's in Cleveland with the latest.
The next First Lady of the United States, my wife.
Donald Trump's wife, Melania, stole the show on the opening night of the Republican National Convention.
My husband is ready to lead this great nation.
Mrs. Trump's speech was well received among party members.
I think we just saw the secret weapon of the Trump campaign.
But Twitter exploded with backlash and accusations that Mrs. Trump's speech included 2 passages plagiarized from First Lady Michelle Obama's speech at the 2008 Democratic Convention.
We want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
We want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
The controversy capped off an already chaotic opening day. Some delegates tried to force a roll call vote on the convention rules, but the last-ditch effort to stop Trump failed. Today, delegates will vote to officially nominate Trump. The theme of the day is Make America Work Again. Several high-profile Republicans are set to take the stage.
Growing our economy, creating jobs.
House Speaker Paul Ryan, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and Donald Trump Jr. are also scheduled to speak. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Cleveland.
Overnight, Trump's campaign released a statement about Mrs. Trump's speech, but it did not address the allegations of plagiarism. Instead, it said Melania's immigrant experience and love for America shone through. Donald Trump immediately tweeted his support after the convention, saying, quote, "It was truly an honor to introduce my wife, Melania. Her speech and demeanor, absolutely incredible. Very proud," end quote.
And Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was in the other side of Ohio last night. She spoke at the NAACP convention in Cincinnati. Clinton said the U.S. needs a president who will pull the country together, not tear people apart.
Donald Trump led the movement to delegitimize our first black president, trumpeting the so-called birther movement. Donald Trump plays coy with white supremacists.
Donald Trump turned down an invitation to speak at the NAACP convention, citing scheduling conflicts with the Republican National Convention. The Democratic National Convention is next week in Philadelphia.
New this morning, authorities in Germany say a 17-year-old Afghan migrant armed with an axe and a knife attacked passengers on a train last night. Police say 4 people were injured before the teen was shot and killed by police. The Islamic State group has claimed responsibility. A senior German security official says a hand-painted ISIS flag was found in the attacker's room.
Also new this morning, a tour bus carrying visitors from mainland China burst into flames after crashing on a busy highway in Taiwan, and it has killed 26 people. It happened near Taiwan's capital. Local media report there were no survivors.
The time right now is 6:18. A new government report says the not meet 2025 fuel economy targets for cars and trucks. That's because motorists are changing the types of vehicles they're driving, purchasing less fuel-efficient vehicles because of lower gas prices. The report says automakers' fleets will average slightly under the 54.5 miles per gallon goal. Starbucks is increasing its benefits to all eligible U.S. employees. The enhanced online package will allow workers more choice and cost-saving options based on their budget. It will also offer personalized support to pick the plan that's best for them. Netflix is running into trouble as the internet video service wrestles with slowing U.S. subscriber growth amid stiffening competition. Netflix only added 160,000 subscribers from April through June. It's the lowest U.S. customer gain the company's posted during that 3-month period in 5 years. Netflix fared much better outside the U.S., but its second quarter gain of 1.5 million international subscribers missed management's projections. The company's stock has plunged 15% to $84 in extended trading. So Chick-fil-A is serving up some good news for breakfast lovers. For the first time in 6 years, the fast food chain has announced an addition to its breakfast menu. The Egg White Grill features grilled chicken with egg whites topped with American cheese on a multi-grain muffin. I know where I'm getting my breakfast/lunch today, Bill. I'm going to make the trek to Chick-fil-A.
Right, and we were talking earlier, you know, a few years ago, they would actually make that grilled chicken for me in the morning.
Well, you had a name for it? You had a name for it?
They did call it the Bill Bryant over there for a while.
I'm surprised that didn't pick up nationally.
Yeah, amazing it didn't, right? Just didn't catch on. All right, now maybe it will. 6:20 on WKYT this morning. We are just getting started. So good to have you with us. Arizona firefighters are putting their own spin on a classic arcade game. Now, the Guacamole firefighter game is helping train recruits ahead this morning.
Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole. Lower 70s right now, steamy conditions. We're going to go over that forecast, that hot and humid forecast coming up.
It is 6:23 this morning. It's early.
It is. It's good to have you with us here on this Tuesday as we get this day going. It's going to be another hot one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, a man is fighting for his life this morning after Lexington police say he ran his car up under a semi-truck's trailer overnight.
And that's what is trending at this hour. Police say a semi was making a U-turn on Versailles Road near New Circle Road when a driver ran his car underneath the semi's flatbed trailer. Firefighters had to cut the roof and the door off of the trapped car before they could free the man. Police say the victim has suffered life-threatening injuries, has been rushed to a hospital.
An Office of Education Accountability investigations found evidence of hazing among Rowan County football players. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, the report says younger players got concussions after being hit by older players. The football coach was suspended several months ago while the state was investigating.
And we're, for the most part, in the 70s. What a beautiful start to the morning out there right now. It's going to heat up, Micah.
Yes, it is. Not only for today, but the next several days. Live Sky Camera, there's your shot as you're walking out the door. No problems whatsoever on the roadways. And as you walk out on the sidewalk heading out to your car, I don't see any issues. Going through the day, here's the deal. Most of us stay dry today. Can't rule out a small chance of rain later on this afternoon. That's that summertime really pattern that you're going to be seeing the next several days. Is the heat's with us, upper 80s to lower 90s. Not only that, humidity as well. And then you could see a pop-up shower thunderstorm by the afternoon. But remember, most of us stay dry, not only today, but the next few days. Once we hit Thursday, Friday, off towards your weekend, then we're talking about 90s for everybody. And I'll show you how deep into the 90s we go coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
So do you remember the classic game Whack-A-Mole? We know Bill does not.
Not all that well.
That's okay, though. We'll take you to the fair. You know, it's still going on over there at Masterson
Yeah, that's
Station.
right.
So it's, you know, so much fun to whack the heck out of those things.
Right. I know what it is. I know what it is. Well,
Okay.
the Peoria Fire Department out in Arizona put their own spin to the ever-so-fun Whack-A-Mole game to spruce up training for new recruits. Instead of popping out of the ground, those firefighters have to pop out from a window behind a 3-story building there. You see them. And just like the game, the goal is to get the firefighters before they retreat back into their hole by spraying them with a high-pressure fire hose. Maybe it's a way to cool off out there in hot Arizona, right?
Yeah, it has to be hot out there, but that might not feel so great.
I was going to say.
Just hitting your face like that.
It'll be a fun part of otherwise rigorous training, right?
I like how they added a little video reference for you there, Bill.
Yeah, right.
But I never knew that they had the little board game. I only know it from the fair, so.
Okay. Well,
it is fun.
Yeah, all right.
Take my word for it.
We will, and it's good to
There you
have you
go.
with us. There you go, hitting him on the head. Good to have you along at WKYT this morning. And when we come back in just a moment, a Unity March is going to be held in Frankfort this week. What organizers are hoping that does, coming up at 6:30.
Before we go, tonight's Mega Millions jackpot, $25 million. Tomorrow's Powerball's at $361 million.
Right back now with our top stories in just a moment.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning from WKYT. Welcome in on your Tuesday, a beautiful start to this day. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to this beautiful day, as you claimed it to be.
It is. I've been outside. I peeped out. It's good. July 19th.
Stuck inside four walls, so I'll take your word for it. Now at 6:30, a newly released report claims Rowan County High School football players were hazed during practice and several injuries are the result of it.
Well, of that story, also a man is fighting for his life this morning after Lexington police say he crashed into a semi overnight and then was trapped underneath its trailer.
The Republican National Convention continues today with a lot of attention focused on Mrs. Trump. We'll tell you why just ahead.
And live sky camera, here's that beautiful start Bill was talking about. It's gorgeous outside. It really is for most locations. Temperatures aren't all that bad and humidity is actually down just a bit for this morning. Not so much the rest of the work week. I'm going to show you some hot, humid conditions. That's our focus. That's coming up.
All right, and let's get you the latest news now.
So the Rowan County High School football program is facing some scrutiny this morning after a state report found evidence of hazing.
The report says upperclassmen targeted younger players and sometimes it led to concussions. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with details on the investigation. Hey, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. State investigators say this was not just bullying. Their investigation uncovered a culture of hazing, beatings, and injuries. The report goes on to allege that upperclassmen targeted the young players on the team.
Football is a game where you're going to tackle and block and you're going to end up on the ground.
I just pushed him on down.
If you push, you're fine. You can't snap.
He had his head right here.
We talked to Coach Ray Graham last year about helmet safety. He told us then that he always puts his players' safety first. His attorney is backing that up, saying he did not see or allow any hazing. The coach was suspended when the state started investigating a few months ago. The school did not renew his contract. According to our news partners at the Herald Leader, the Office of Education Accountability found young players on the team had about 20 concussions, most of them happening after the whistle was blown or when they weren't even supposed to be playing. In one report, a player kicked the head of a player who was already down. The state says the superintendent and the principal broke the law because they did not properly investigate the allegations of hazing that were brought to their attention. The state now wants the superintendent to allow the Center for Safe Schools to conduct a school safety assessment. The new coach, the principal, and the superintendent are also required to attend 3 hours of training through that center in the next 4 weeks. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Well, we'll see where it goes from here. We thank you, Mark. New this morning, a man is fighting for his life after being very seriously injured. Lexington police say he ran his car under a semi-truck's trailer overnight.
The accident happened around 1:30 in the morning on Versailles Road near New Circle Road at the widening project. WKYT's Mike Byer is joining us live this morning with details on this situation.
Good morning, Rebecca. All four lanes of Versailles Road are back open after a serious crash overnight between a semi and a car that has sent a man to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The accident happened around 1:30 this morning. Police tell us the semi was trying to make a U-turn at the interchange of New Circle Road and Versailles Road because the ramp from Versailles Road to New Circle was closed for construction. Police say this is when a car traveling outbound on Versailles slammed into the semi, causing the driver to become trapped under the trailer. Firefighters were able to lift the trailer with airbags to get the car out. They then had to cut the roof off the car to get the driver out. They say he was conscious at the time but was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police tell us the car may have been traveling at a high rate of speed before crashing into the semi. Now, we're told the driver of the semi is okay. As for the driver of the car, we are unsure of his condition this morning. Other than that, he has life-threatening injuries. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Our time this morning, 6:34. Donald Trump and Mike Pence are set to formally be named as the presidential and vice presidential nominees for the Republican Party today. The development comes on the second day of the Republican National Convention, a day that will be focused on the economy. In an unprecedented move last night, Trump helped kick off day one of the RNC by introducing his wife, Melania Trump, who presented a softer and gentler side of her husband.
He's tough when he has to be, but he's also kind and fair and caring. This kindness is not always noted, but it is there for all to see.
One delegate said everyone fell in love with Melania Trump last night. Shortly after her speech, Twitter exploded with accusations that Melania Trump's speech included passages that were plagiarized from First Lady Michelle Obama's speech at the 2008 Democratic Convention. The Trump campaign is yet to comment on the allegations of plagiarism.
Two Kentucky lawmakers are speaking at the Republican National Convention. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will speak this evening. State Senator Ralph Alvarado Jr. will address the convention tomorrow. Security in Cleveland is very tight for the Republican National Convention. Many of the police officers providing security there receive training from a group right here in Kentucky. The Rural Domestic Preparedness Consortium is a program at EKU's Justice and Safety Center. Instructors with the group went to Ohio to make sure first responders were ready.
You have VIPs, you have dignitaries. There's always a concern with terrorism. There's always a concern with protests. Protests are becoming more violent, traffic and transportation. And then there's business as usual.
Day says the group works with first responders not just on how to respond if trouble presents itself, but also how to prevent trouble from happening in the first place.
All right, good to see EKU being of assistance at that national event. Well, hot temperatures have been hanging around, as you know, here in Kentucky the last few days, and that steamy weather isn't going anywhere right now. In fact, it's going to get hotter as the week goes along.
Hold tight. We're hearing from Micah Harris, who's in the First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case all the way through the rest of the work week and off into the weekend. The weekend, Friday into your weekend, looks the hottest there in your 7-day. I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. Defender Radar Network, nothing going on. And look all around us. There's really not much happening all around. It's pretty calm and quiet. Frankfort at 71 degrees. Look at Lexington. How cool is that sunrise as it comes above the horizon? No problems whatsoever as you walk out the door. If you like to do a little exercise early in the morning, it's perfect for you. I will tell you this, humidity's down just a bit early this morning. It's better than the past couple of days. So there's some good news for you. 70 degrees now in Laurel County. Now we get into the afternoon, upper 80s to around 90 degrees. This is one of the coolest, if you will, coolest temperatures we'll actually see in our 7-day forecast. Small chance of rain will be with us. It's that summertime setup. We're going to have that the next few days. We're really focusing on that heat, and that heat really ramps up towards your weekend. I'm going to get into those numbers coming up in a few minutes.
We are tracking a health alert for you this morning. Federal health officials are trying to figure out how a person in Utah became infected with Zika while caring for an infected patient who later died. The caregiver did not have sexual contact with the patient and did not travel to an area being impacted by Zika. Experts also say the mosquito that spreads the virus is not typically found in Utah.
This case may represent a new mode of transmission, but it's really too early in the investigation to know for sure, and it's possible that we'll never know for sure.
The caregiver developed mild symptoms and fully recovered. The patient, who was elderly with health problems, died last month and had traveled to an area where Zika was spreading.
All right, from the state capitol, we have word the Executive Branch Ethics Commission has fined a one-time state mining inspector $4,000 for accepting bribes from a former lawmaker. According to a news release, Kelly Shortridge admitted to 4 counts of violating the state ethics code. Shortridge agreed not to issue citations against a coal mine that was owned by former Democratic State Representative Keith Hall. That was in exchange for bribes of about $40,000. Shortridge testified against Hall, who was convicted last year and sentenced to 7 years in prison that he's now serving. The bodies of 4 Kentuckians killed over the weekend during a boating accident at a Georgia lake are being returned to Kentucky. Anthony and Tammy Reese were from Adair County. The 2 of them were with another couple from Bullitt County for a charity poker run when their boat overturned. All 4 died. Friends of the Reeses say the couple's deaths have hit the county there hard. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the boat to flip. Folks across central Kentucky continue to show their support for law enforcement following the recent violence around the country. A march is going to be held in Frankfort Thursday that calls for unity. City officials are putting on the event to show there is some good in the world. The Unity March will start at 5:30 on Thursday afternoon at 2nd Street and Capitol Avenue. It will then travel down to the Capitol steps where some speakers will be addressing the crowd.
Lextran will hold a community meeting today to talk about the upcoming sale of the former Lextran site in Lexington. The meeting will be held at the new Lextran headquarters at 200 West Loudon Avenue. They'll share information about getting rides out of their former sites at 101, 105, and 109 West Loudon. Lextran's general manager says they want to make sure the property will be put to good use. The meeting is from 4 to 6 o'clock this afternoon. Let's get a check of traffic right now and see what's happening out there on the roads.
Yeah, the time is 6:40, and let's go to Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, we cleared the problem at Tates Creek and Alumni, so all lanes are open at that intersection. Just checked Harrodsburg Road coming in from Manowar through the crossover, and traffic is steady for now. Let's get a look outside, and we'll give you an overall view at the traffic picture this morning and also traffic flow on Nicholasville Road, Tates Creek Road, and we're still okay on the north side. Drive times 14 minutes from Nicholasville, 16 to 18 from Paris, and 22 minutes from Winchester. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, not a bad ride in. We have no reports of any early issues at the moment. And you can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. Hey, it sure is good to have you with us this beautiful summer morning on WKYT. We have a lot more news on the way for you.
This dirt bike racer is only 5, but he's qualified to compete on a national level. That's amazing. We'll have more on this story when we come back.
This string of days that we're about to go through in your 7-day forecast is a string of days we have not seen yet in 2016. You got to date back toward 2015. The heat is on. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good outside early this morning. There's not really much going on. Now, in terms of rainfall for today, there is a small chance. Can't rule it out, but for the most part, most of us say dry. You see a little blip here and there back toward western Kentucky. That's kind of what we're going to be expecting as we go throughout the day. So no problems early this morning as you are walking out the doors. Upper 60s, lower 70s, 71 there in Lexington. That goes for Frankfort in the capital city. Then you work your way southbound. It's pretty much the same story anywhere you look. 89 by the afternoon. Now, this is one of those days you can get the kids outside. Sprinklers, throw them on, take them out to the pool, the lake, the river. It'll be one of those days that's absolutely perfect for it. Now, you might have to dodge a possible shower or thunderstorm by the afternoon. And I say maybe because it's not a great chance. It's not a good chance at all. It's only about a 30% chance of rain. So most of us stay dry. So if you have any plans, stick to them. Just know this, that we're going to be seeing some heat roll across the region the next several days. Steamy conditions are in the forecast. Here's the breakdown the rest of the work week. It's going to be mainly dry during the work week. I don't see much of a chance of rain any time at all. So traveling anywhere, trying to head out to the lake down at Lake Cumberland, Laurel Lake, heading out to the pools, no problem. There will be a few storms for the weekend, but really it's about the heat the next few days. Check this out. Did you know this? The last time we actually had 7 straight days of roughly 90 degrees, the last time was actually September of last year. I mean, you got to date back toward early September too. It was actually September 2nd through the 9th. So, I mean, we're really talking about some heat on the way as we could be roughly 90 degrees each and every single day now through next week, off into Monday too. 89 degrees for today, small chance of rain. It is the same story tomorrow, the same story on Thursday. All 3 of those days, upper 80s, lower 90s, with a very, very small chance of rain towards your afternoon. It's just a pop-up shower thunderstorm. I will tell you this, if you're one of the unlucky ones that get under one of those, you're talking about some pretty heavy downpours and also a lot of lightning, but that is your summertime storm. Then we hit Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now we're talking about some heat turning on. Now, let me tell you this. Looking at the latest weather models, still looks like 93, 94, 95 are possibilities if, and that's a big if you are not under thunderstorms. If you're under thunderstorms, obviously that drops the temperatures, and that's why I have just lower 90s instead of mid-90s. But 92, 93, 94, they're all the same.
Yeah, we get the picture.
Yeah, absolutely. Here comes the heat there for the weekend.
Yeah, I don't think you can tell much difference.
No, absolutely not. Not when it's that high.
Micah, thank you. 647 on WKYT.
So an Oklahoma dirt bike racer taking his skills to the national level, and he's only 6 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing. Kindergartner Davy Collins hasn't met a track he can't handle. He got on a bike when he was just 3 years old, and he has never looked back. Davy's competed in hundreds of races across Oklahoma. Now he's qualified to race in the largest amateur motocross in the world. The 35th annual Rocky Mountain ATV MC Amateur National Motocross Championship is held in Tennessee, so he'll be nearby. Davy's family says it's expensive for them, though, so they're raising money to pay for the trip and the $600 entrance fee. The week-long event will run from August 1st through the 6th, so we'll try to update you on how he does. That's
not
amazing.
Not even in the first grade, and already pretty cool.
Already a big winner, right? All right, our top stories are on the way on WKYT this morning.
We have more news. Stay with us.
Coming up, we're looking at similarities between Melania Trump's speech and Michelle Obama's convention speech from 2008. Plus, Hillary Clinton tells Charlie why she thinks Trump is the most dangerous candidate ever. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Welcome back in at 6:51 this morning. A major Lexington roads reopened after an overnight crash that's left a man fighting for his life. It's just one of the stories making headlines this morning, and Bill joins us with a look at what's happening on the web.
Right, our newsroom very busy updating WKYT.com, and that crash happened on Versailles Road near New Circle Road. Police say the driver of a car slammed into a semi that was making a U-turn. That car got pinned underneath the semi. The driver has been taken to a hospital with life-threatening injuries. We're also looking into a state report that details allegations of hazing by members of the Rowan County High School football team. You can check out that story right now on WKYT.com. We'll be adding new details as we get them. You can also read up the excerpts of Melania Trump's speech last night at the Republican National Convention and the striking similarities it has with a speech given by Michelle Obama 8 years ago. And pack the sunscreen and plenty of water. We're in for a real summertime pattern with high temperatures 90 or above for a lot of days this week. So we'll be keeping you up to date on that on WKYT.com.
Thank you, Bill. Somerset police need your help finding 4 people they say were involved in a church burglary. Police posted surveillance photos of the 4 suspects on Facebook. They say the suspects broke into First Baptist Church on North Main Street on July 11th and 12th. Police have not said exactly what was stolen. A toddler continues to recover this morning after police say he nearly drowned at a home in Richmond. Police say the 2-year-old boy was found unresponsive at a home on Brandy Lane Saturday. Neighbors say the boy fell into a pool. They say the boy's mother performed CPR until first responders arrived.
As neighbors, you know, we were worried. We were concerned. Yeah. So we come together in a unified neighborhood and started praying for the best.
Well, police say the child suffered critical injuries but is stable at Kentucky Children's Hospital.
Following the attacks on officers in Dallas and Baton Rouge, the Pulaski County jailer feels his deputies need more protection. Major Ron Swartz says he fears his deputies' uniforms could make them a target because they have the appearance of a normal police officer's uniform. Because of that, Major Swartz has ordered 12 guns for his deputies to carry when they're going to and from work. The weapons still won't be allowed in secure areas of the jail except by the jailer and under extreme circumstances. Jail officials say without weapons, the deputies have no way to protect themselves if danger presents itself. Kentuckians looking for a warm place to travel this winter will have some new options. Frontier Airlines is adding 3 new destinations from the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. The low-cost carrier is expected to formally announce new flights to Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and Cancun later this morning. Frontier has told WCPO in Cincinnati that the nonstop flights to the Florida destinations will start in October, and the flights to Cancun will start in December.
Staff from Jessamine County Public Schools will participate in safety training today. Facility members will go through an active shooter simulation with the Nicholasville Police Department at East Jessamine High School. The exercise is meant to help ensure student and staff safety in case of an emergency. Training will go on throughout the day.
The World Anti-Doping Agency wants Russia's entire team banned from this year's Summer Olympic Games. This comes after a report that found the country's state-run doping scheme resulted in hundreds of falsified results. The 97-page report issued says the scheme lasted at least 4 years.
Well, this is an interesting one. Police in Manchester, New Hampshire are using the new Pokemon Go game as a way to try to catch the city's most wanted criminals. The police department recently posted on Facebook that a rare Pokemon Go character had been detected in their booking area. It reads in part, "If your name appears on the following list, you are one of the lucky ones. Come on down to the station to capture Charizard." Police then included a link to their wanted list. The post quickly went viral and now has more than 30,000 likes. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Well, the First Lady is getting her karaoke on. Some of you really like this skit there. Michelle Obama has taped a carpool karaoke bit with James Corden that will air tomorrow night on CBS's Late Late Show. The First Lady and Corden sang "This Is For My Girls." The Girl Power anthem was originally recorded by pop stars including Kelly Clarkson and Missy Elliott. The tune benefits Let Girls Learn, an initiative launched last year by First Lady and President Barack Obama to help educate more than 60 million girls around the world. So getting in on the car karaoke action.
It is amazing. If you get in the car and sing with James Corden, I guess you have you've made it. I guess
karaoke, right?
Yeah, that's right. Let's check in with Micah before we go on a hot day ahead.
Yeah, he's really hit a gold mine with that carpool karaoke. Really cool stuff by James Corden. Here's the look outside. It's a good look. Live sky camera with that sunshine beaming down on us. As you're walking out the door, no rain there in the forecast early this morning, so no problems whatsoever. Jumping in your car, heading out on the highways and byways. 89 degrees by the afternoon. Guys, it's more about the temperatures the next few days than anything else. Not so much thunderstorms. You won't have a great chance at thunderstorms through the next few days. So a small chance of rain later on this afternoon, a pop-up shower thunderstorm. But it's about the heat. 89 degrees is actually one of our coolest temperatures in the 7-day forecast.
Slather on the sunscreen.
There we go.
Try to enjoy, right? Nobody's more up to date than you. Thank you for being with us on WKYT this morning.
Bye-bye.